Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
The man police say was the intruder at two homes in a South Fargo neighborhood early this morning is sitting behind bars. Now one of the homeowners is speaking out, saying she is terrified to live in her own home. Fargo police say they got a call from someone living in the 1400 block of 11th Avenue South after they found 33-year-old Paul Justin Kalla hiding in their basement around 8 this morning. Police say Kalla fled on foot and then barricaded himself in another home down the block before officers finally arrested him. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley was the first reporter on the scene and joins us live in the studio with more. Bailey.
Yes, Andrea, it was a very active scene this morning, and there were at least 10 police cars setting up a perimeter in the 1300 block of 9th Avenue South, and a small team from the Fargo Police Department ended up having to suit up and barge into the home where Paul Flick was hiding. Police finally arrested Kalla a little after 10 this morning. The search for Kalla put two area schools into lockdown. Those are Woodrow Wilson High School and Jeffrey Elementary. Now, I talked with one of the homeowners of the first house Kalla broke into just up the street. She says she doesn't know how she'll feel safe in her home ever again. She didn't want to talk on camera, but says her dog was acting weird and was sniffing around in the basement. So she went down and turned a light on and saw Kalla standing behind her furnace in a dark corner. The woman tells me both she and Kalla screamed, and she chased him out the door, yelling at him over and over to get out of her house. She says she picked up a shoe and Kalla left behind and threw it at him as he was running away. The woman added that police told her Kalla may have been in her basement since 2 this morning after they say Kalla fled from a traffic stop. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Bailey. The woman also tells us she now will be getting security cameras and will be extra vigilant to make sure all of her doors are locked. Kalla was arrested on 2 counts of burglary and an active warrant for a probation violation. So far today, quiet, and that long-awaited warm-up is almost here, but we're also keeping a close eye on a snow system slated for this weekend. Before we get to those details, Hutch, how's our night looking?
Well, very quiet as we look out to the west from our Valley Skycam. Nary a cloud to be seen, as we have enjoyed a lot of sunshine today, but not hot, as temperatures have been stapled in the teens for most of our area today. Fosston, the warm spot, 18 degrees the high temperature there today, 13 in Fargo and in Grand Forks. We still have some breezy conditions from the James River Valley through the Sisseton Hills with gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour, and the radar shows a little snowflake action dancing into the Devil's Lake Basin and not far from Sheridan County north of Bismarck. This evening, temperatures slipping fairly quickly with setting sun. The winds tapering off and becoming westerly overnight. Likewise, single digits above zero in Grand Forks this evening. So a quiet night, and our gradual warming trend does continue. Andrea, we'll have the very latest on the storm we're tracking for the weekend ahead. Looking more like it will impact our area. I'll have the latest on that as well.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A Fargo man facing a murder charge in the death of an infant has pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors had charged 24-year-old Cody Faltersack with manslaughter, but later upgraded the charge to murder. Investigators say Faltersack admitted to bouncing the child harder than he should, and at one point says he dropped the boy on his head. Faltersack also said he withheld some information from paramedics about what happened because he was scared. He remains in custody in Montreal County and will be back in court April 25th for a pre-trial conference. The murder charge carries a maximum sentence of life in prison without the chance for parole. A Moorhead man is facing 2 felony charges of arson and 1 felony count of false fire alarms after police say he set his own apartment on fire over the weekend. It happened on 32nd Avenue South. When officers arrived, they saw smoke coming from a unit belonging to 34-year-old Timothy Flick. Officers entered that unit and saw many burn sites and noticed the smoke detectors in the unit had been disconnected. Flick admitted to starting the fires inside his home because he didn't want to use electricity. He said when the apartment started to fill with smoke, he removed the fire alarms because of the noise. 1 man is in jail, another taken to a hospital after police responded to a stabbing in Moorhead late last night. Police arrested 27-year-old Nicholas Herner after they say they got a call just before 9 about someone who had been stabbed several times in the 1000 block of 22nd Avenue South. Herner is now being held on second-degree assault charges. The condition of the victim is still unknown. A 16-year-old girl from Grand Forks is missing, and her parents need help finding her. Breeza Bovet of Grand Forks has been missing since February 1st. Her parents say she has run away before, but this is the longest that she's ever been gone, a little over a month. They're concerned something bad has happened to her.
I just want her to come home. I'm worried about her.
On Valley News Live at 6, hear what police are doing to help find Bovet and why she's considered an absent juvenile instead of a missing person. Minnesota's Transportation Commissioner says the state's roads and bridges need a lot of work. A report was unveiled today that shows more than half of the state's roads are more than 50 years old. And the commissioner says 35% of bridges are in the same boat. The governor is proposing a 20-cent-a-gallon gas tax increase to pay for fixing them and building new where necessary. The commissioner says the work needs to get underway now.
This is a real problem for us because what it does is it hampers not only the growth of our communities, but the growth of our region. Issues like backups on freight lines, the lack of ability for truck traffic to move smoothly, and then, of course, people to be able to get to their jobs and to move around the state freely is a big problem.
Republicans in the legislature are opposed to raising the gas tax, and Representative Paul Marquardt of Dilworth, a Democrat, tells Valley News Live he's not crazy about a 20-cent gas tax increase either, but he calls it a starting point. Border City gas stations, by the way, would be protected from any gas tax increase that is more than 3 cents higher than in North Dakota. The North Dakota Association of Counties says the equipment used during elections has been failing, and there's a dire need for replacements. The Burleigh County Auditor says the same equipment has been used for 15 to 20 years, and in order to keep up with the machines, he replaces parts. But he says it's been getting difficult to find those parts.
It's just something that needs to be done to ensure and protect that our ballots are being counted as we cast them as citizens.
Glad says he hopes the legislature approves the funding for the new equipment from the Secretary of State's budget, which includes $11 million.
One of the biggest challenges is just the various topics and myths that are out there.
Certain vitamins and supplements claim they can give you more energy, help you lose weight, or cure your cold. But before you buy them, doctors say you might want to think again. Valley News Team's Veronica Marsha looks into what some are calling the myths behind vitamins.
Diet trends, home remedies, and false claims keep Amanda Knack busy. But that's partially why she became a dietitian.
There are so many different topics out there. There's so many different myths out there, and so it's just to kind of clear those up. So that was really where my initial interest came in.
One of the most enduring myths that Knack deals with is the belief in vitamins. For certain populations, they can be helpful.
When we're looking at what vitamins or minerals to be taking, we're looking at filling in those gaps of where we might be deficient or missing some different vitamins or minerals.
Vegetarians and vegans, for instance, supporting with yourself with maybe an iron supplement or vitamin B12.
But the FDA says 3 out of 4 Americans take vitamins and supplements. And vitamins are big business. The supplement industry is worth more than $40 billion. And doctors say some of that money could be better spent or saved.
I think it's the advertisement of supplements that are drawing people in. They're claiming to do something, and based on that claim, individuals are drawn towards that supplement, thinking that if I just take this supplement, I'll get the results that it's saying I'll get.
But for the most part,
so the average person doesn't need a vitamin or something.
I would say so. Yep. There are vitamins, the fat-soluble vitamins, that our body is able to store. And so if we're excessively taking those, thinking that we're getting more health benefits, we actually could be doing detrimental, or it could have detrimental effects on our body as well.
But not everyone agrees.
A lot of research studies seem to find that vitamins aren't very beneficial for the average person. You know, what would be your response to that?
I think that there can be a lot of benefit for most people. Looking at an article by Mark Hyman in his book, Ultra Mind Solution, he references that about 90% of the population have a deficiency of one nutrient or another.
There is one thing dietitians, health coaches, and scientists all agree on. You can avoid the whole vitamin debate by simply eating a balanced diet. In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
Another thing to consider when taking vitamins or supplements is that they aren't regulated as strictly as other medications. The FDA says it does not review or approve supplements based on their safety and effectiveness. Calling all pinball enthusiasts. Fargo Pinball and Drecker are teaming up to bring a pinball tournament to the FM area. The tournament starts tonight at 6:30 and will be held every Tuesday for the next 12 weeks. Fargo Pinball and Drecker hope this event will give people something to do while we wait for warmer weather.
We just want people to get out and have some fun gaming, do something fun during the winter. Maybe it's something new to them. Maybe they're experienced pinball players. It's people of all levels that will be playing.
Each person will pay a $20 fee to enter the tournament. The competition will be at Drecker's new location on First Avenue North. Minnesota State Fair officials announced today Daryl Hall and John Oates will perform at the fair's grandstand in August. The iconic duo will perform as part of the 2019 Grandstand Concert Series on August 28th. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Other shows already announced for the Grandstand series include Hootie and the Blowfish, Weird Al Yankovic, and Lionel Richie. The 2019 Minnesota State Fair runs August 22nd through Labor Day.